Hi, I'm Pam DeMoore, the Decorating Diva, and I want you to know about a class that I teach that is probably one of my favorite classes because it combines a lot of my favorite skills. So this is a sample of one of the pillows we made in class. It's an embroidered basket with a bunch of embroidered flowers. So I'm just going to show you. So it's actually from my embroidery collection, which I'll show you. It's from the Tangled Blooms collection. And you can have this, you can come to a class with me or you can have it offered in your store. So here is an example. I took the basket here and I stitched it out. And so this part's just stitched. I've done a little drawing here to sort of add, this is where the Zen Tangle comes in. So I just want to show you a little more drawing. So this is the Identity pen and I use this small tip. And I'm just going to draw parallel lines here, and I alternate either other block going in the same direction here, as you can see. And then I go up and down in the leftover blocks. Up and down. And then to add some interest to it, actually, before I do that, I'm going to color in the little holes here with my brown pen. And I try to usually match my pen to whatever color my stitching is for this type of effect. Then I'm going to use this Fabrico. It's gray, and I know this is brown and I'm using a gray pen, but the gray seems to work better with the shadows. So I just do a soft line across the ends, and then I just flick my pen. And you want to leave the center of this light, because what that does is it creates like a shadow, and it makes it look more rounded, and the weave sort of starts to take shape. It's interesting because this just to me looks like such a complicated pattern, but when you break it down into steps like this, it's so easy and people just love it. It's so much fun. So in my class we stitch the basket out, and then we take our pens and we fill in the drawing. So that's one of the fun things that we are doing. Then we'll color in the whole thing. I'll just show you one that I have done already. It's right here. And here I've finished it. And now it's ready to add the flowers. So when we stitch the flowers, I stitch them out, and usually I'll do multiples at one time. And I've got some here, and I've started cutting one of them out, and I'll show you how I cut this out. I use a stencil cutter. Now this is very hot, so you do not want to touch anything beyond this red end here. And so, and if you've got like a fireproof surface underneath, like a ceramic tile or like a glass surface, that would work to hold it, but I don't have one, so I'm just holding it in the air. And I'm just going to hold the edge of this flower with my finger, and I just touch the little tip here, and I just touch the little tip, and we're just cutting this flower out. So what's underneath here is just a nylon organza or nylon sheer fabric. And then on top is a wash away stabilizer that when I put it in water, you'll just see the organza. You'll not see any of the stabilizer. So there is my little flower all cut out. And then sometimes, just because I need to, because it's hard to get it perfect, I might take my little scissors here and just go in and just kind of clean it up just a little bit. If there's like a little, like a little goober or something, just some little clumps of melted fabric. Okay, just take the scissors to clean that up. You could scissor cut this if you don't have a heat cutting tool, but the heat cutting tool does kind of sear the edges in so it won't fray, and it creates a cleaner finish and a more permanent finish. So once that's done and it's cut out, I would take it to the sink and wash it. So here's a flower with the stabilizer still on the back. These have some stabilizer still on the back, as opposed to like this one's. These that you see the backs are the same as the front pretty much. So I soak them in warm water and just put them in my bathroom sink, and I put a little bit of hair conditioner in there, and that helps break down this stabilizer. But even if I just wet it, you can see it's breaking apart there. Okay? Okay? So very easy to get rid of. So now we're going to position our flowers, and you could do something where you could do just all one flower, and that would be lovely. Like, we could do just a basket of daisies. A basket of daisies would be lovely. And then we'd add some little green leaves. You know, just add some green leaves. I've got a couple different leaves, so you can mix the leaves up if you wanted to. You know, you could add some more leaves. Add some green leaves, just to add a little interest. And I think that could be lovely, especially if you had done the basket and you've done this on a darker background fabric where the white would show up a little better. Okay? But for today, I just want to add some multiple colored flowers because I like color. So we're just going to add some flowers. And sometimes I will double stack them so that, you know, they're, so they have a little more depth to them. So you can do that, or they can just be single layers. So here's a couple that are double stacked here. Okay, and there's some that are double stacked. And that one needs to be stabilized and washed there. And here's another one. There's a purple one. There's a poinsettia. So this is the plumeria. This is the daisy. This is the poinsettia. And there's also a water lily. I don't have a water lily handy here. And this is a daisy that's been stitched out with a fill stitch. So if you don't have the sheer fabric, you can also do something with the fill stitches and just scissor cut those. And those are just a lot of fun too. So this is just a really fun project that you can just mix and match, you know, your different fabrics. If you've got some scraps of sheer fabric, or, you know, you can just go to your fabric store and get a half a yard of a couple different ones and just mix and match them up, because they really do have a lot of fun with them. Just mix some flowers. And let me see, I'm going to add a green leaf right here. And I'm going to put a green leaf right over here. And another one up here. And then what I would do is just pin all these in place. And then you could either, whoops, this is backwards. You could just use a hand sewing needle and stitch them in, but I usually just take my sewing machine and I just zigzag them down in place to hold them all down. And just position them just the way you want them. And there you have your basket. Isn't that lovely? So once you finish your basket, you're going to cut your pillow out to the size that you want it. And I use my pillow template. So this is cut to be a 16-inch pillow. So I would use this line right here, this angled line, and I would rotate it 3 times. Or you can do what I did, where I cut my fabric out ahead of time by just folding it in 4. Folding it in 4. I'm just going to roll this up here. And place my pillow template with this on the center. And then I can just mark my lines for my tapers. So I would just mark here and here and here. And that way I would just connect the dots from here down to here and so on, and I would just cut my tapers and I would get that shape. After we do our tapers, we want to add a zipper. So we've added a zipper to the bottom. So in the class you'll learn how to add the zipper also. So think about all that you're going to learn in this workshop. You're going to learn embroidery. You're going to learn how to do cut work. You're going to learn how to do Zen Tangle. You will learn how to create a pillow using a pillow template and how to taper the corners, and you're going to put in a zipper. So it's a lot of fun, just packed into one great day. So I hope you can join me. Thank you. I'm Pam DeMoy, the Decorating Diva, and happy sewing.